Hello and welcome to Loving Me, Myself, and Life with me, Jody Misiak. So it's the most stressful time of the year. Okay, really? Anyways, enough singing. So as I'm recording this, I know it's going to fall into December. And this can be the most stressful time of the year. Why do I know? Because I have found myself there so many times where I'm like, it's going to be different this year. I know I can do differently. And, usually I do better, but not always. Like I know last year I put a big project on myself. It would have been fairly good, except I was not rushing, but I had to get this big, huge project I wanted to get for my parents done. It was this really personal gift. I made them a huge video of things. And because we live so far apart and it was our first Christmas away from each other, I really wanted to do something very special. And I put a lot of pressure on myself. And that's where the stressful part of Christmas or over the holidays in general come from. Ourselves usually. Now there's also expectations of family. And then we sometimes have a hard time saying no to different events. And we can all of a sudden be like going to different parties. I know there was one time that I think my husband and I had 3 or 4 Christmas parties to go to. Crazy. Now we have like none. So it's funny how the world works. But the thing is, a lot of the time we put that pressure on ourselves. Or again, it can be expectations. We allow others expectations that they're expecting of us to get on there too. So I know for me this year, I'm looking at it going, okay, how can I do better than I did last year? Right? It's not about being perfect. I'm sure there's going to be a moment where I feel a little overwhelmed again. I have the kids home for 2 weeks, right? It's going to happen. Maybe not. But I'm just going to allow things to flow a little bit too. However, I have a plan this year. It's keeping it simple, nothing crazy. And I'm going to ask for help this year. I'm going to have my kids help me more. My husband help me more. We do this thing called 12 days of Christmas. So we count down Christmas and each day we do something. And I still want to do that this year, but it's just about allowing other people to be a part of it more and to take part of it more. Like I'm going to actually get the kids involved this year and have them give me ideas. And we're going to work together. A lot of time I feel, at least for me, I put everything on me. Like I love the holidays. What I don't love is after the holidays and I'm so burnt out and so exhausted that I'm angry, I'm frustrated, and I'm just burnt out and I just want to sleep for a week or two. And then it's New Year's and it's like, well, actually, yeah. And then by New Year's, like I don't want to do anything. Count me out, man. I'm exhausted. So if you find yourself in this position, maybe just look at what you did last year and see how you can change it. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to be like I know where things went a little rocky last year. Because as I always share about this time of year, especially from a self-care perspective. So for me, it's also making sure I don't drop my self-care activities, that I still take care of me. And that again has coming with help, right? Talking to my husband, be like, okay, I'm going to go have a bath now or meditate or whatever it is. Like it's having those conversations with my husband. So we're on the same page. And so that I know that I can go and just have some me time and know that if the kids need anything, he is available. And it's just having those conversations, getting help and support when needed and asking for it. Like I decorate our house from top to bottom. Like I love this time of year. Again, usually at the end of it, I'm like, oh my goodness. So again, changing it up a little bit. Like I said, it's not about being perfect either. And that's the other thing. We can actually get caught up in the perfection of the holidays instead of just enjoying the holidays. So that's the other thing I'm going to focus on this year. It's not so much about what we're doing. Like I want to, still do some fun activities with my kids or, have a fire on the beach and things like that. Hang out with friends and things, all that fun stuff. However, I also want to be more present in the moments. So I want to focus more on the feeling that I want to have over the holidays. Focus on love, loving my kids, loving my husband, sending love out to the world. Christmas, the holidays, whatever you're celebrating doesn't have to be perfect, especially if you're burnt out at the end of it. I speak from personal experience. It's not about being perfect. It's about, it's about, whatever it means to you. I'm not going to put anything out there because it's whatever it means to you. And for me, I want to focus more on my family, my friends, and just love in general and putting that out there. And the way that sometimes the holidays go for me is I do that at the beginning, and then I fill my weeks up, or the whole month of December up, with things. And it's like go, 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 go. And then I have nothing left to give. So again, I'm going to focus on love, give myself love first, and then send it out to everybody else. It sounds so simple, doesn't it? So simple. Yet, I have fallen into the trap of doing too much still, even though I know what to do, that it could happen, and things like that. So for me, it's getting really clear. So I'm going to write it out, and I'm going to write down what I just said to you. I'm going what I want to feel, how I want to show up. So mostly love. I just want to be loving. It's a magical time of year if we let it. But a lot of the time we get caught up in things and stuff or events, or I should do this, or I have to do this. I need it to be perfect. We get caught up in our heads instead of our hearts. And then we get exhausted. So it's about writing down how I want to feel, how I want to show up, and make a plan. Now, this doesn't have to be crazy, but for me, if I have structure and if I schedule things in, I've talked about this before too. If you want to get something done, schedule it in. And for me, this works. Maybe it'll work for you too. But have a plan. When am I going to do this? Because life happens. And I know I see it all the time on weekends, right? My kids are home on the weekend. I'll just come down after waking up and go right to cuddling them and having a glass of water and coffee instead of jumping on my meditation pillow first. So it's about having a plan and then just having an idea okay, if I start feeling overwhelmed, what am I going to do? So not feeling overwhelmed and then just kind of, okay, it's okay. I'll do better and just keep going. Have a plan. It's okay, if I'm starting to feel overwhelmed, maybe go, okay, I need to take a half hour and go have a bath. Or you include the family, have a dance party or go for a walk. Anything that brings more peace into your life, not the opposite. So it's about having a plan and then having an idea of hitting the reset button. What can I do if I don't follow my plan? And I know this might sound rigid, but when we set up how we want to feel, how we want to show up, and what are the ways we're going to do that, it's easier to go back and look at that when things aren't going well. If you have this idea and you don't write it down and things start not to go well, around the holidays, I know the week before school's out, it's pretty go with stuff. I feel events around school and our daughter's birthday's around there. And it's just, one thing after the other. If I don't have it written down, I'm just going to spiral out of control and try and grab onto something. Setting an intention and making a plan is there to help ground you. It's so easy to get caught up in life, in the busyness. That's usually how it goes, right? I'm so in love with all the things we're doing. I'm loving it. And I'm forgetting about me. And that's usually okay for a while. Until, a week or two in, and it's I explode. I'm oh my gosh, I don't know who I am anymore. So setting an intention and making a plan is a really good way to lay a foundation to keep you, excited and just loving the holidays instead of being stressful over the holidays. Also, another thing is getting clear on what you want. And that's what I mean by setting an intention. How do I want to feel this holiday season? And how am I going to show up? So like I said before, family can have expectations from us. Our family lives across the country. We moved a year and a half ago, or actually just over a year ago. And so we don't have the same things we used to do where we'd have like 3 or 4 outings and things like that. But even so, when we did, I realized that family expectations are their expectations. And just because they want something done exactly how it's been done for years and years and years doesn't mean it's working for you anymore. For instance, when we had our daughter, we found that was the perfect time to set new family traditions. It was a good point to be like, okay, look, this is too much running from place to place to place to place, especially with our daughter being born right before Christmas. So we're like, we are spending Christmas Day at home. Like we used to run out to my parents' house. That was about a half hour away. Snowstorms, it didn't matter. We would, drive out there. And for a while there, like we just sleep over. So we didn't have to worry about driving home at night or, it was just easy going. We got to be all in PJs all day and, freely drinking and not having to worry drive anywhere. However, as we got older and we got our own house and things like that, we wanted to finally have our own Christmas. And like I said, having our daughter was a perfect time to change up things. Because again, families can have expectations and ideas of what the holiday should look like. But again, they don't necessarily line up with what you want. So again, it's very clear to get what do you want to get out of the holidays? And if you want to spend time with your family all the time, that's totally cool. There's nothing wrong with that. Again, filling up your own cup in between though, right? But it's having what you want to experience over the holidays and what you want to feel and how you want to show up. And I know for me, I was, even before I met my husband, I was going, it was Christmas, boom, 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 boom. It was so exhausting going to so many family functions. And I just had a couple weeks off of work. I was working a lot and then I have time off and it just felt like more family functions. And it's I never got to really slow down. And it was a lot. So usually by Boxing Day, I was I'm out, guys. I'm not going to this family function. I'm exhausted. So it's sometimes when we get burnt out, then we don't handle the situation as lovingly as we could. And that's why it's taking some time to think about how you want to enjoy the holidays this year. And then realizing that just because something's been done, year after year after year doesn't necessarily mean it has to be done that way. It's just doing a check-in with yourself and having conversations with family members before it's you have one after the other, and you're I can't take this anymore. Oh, so many holidays where I'm just I need a vacation from the holidays. I don't want that. And I'm sure you don't want that either, or maybe you do. But it's figuring out, again, it's all about what you want. I've shared with you what I want. I want to keep it simple. Well, that's actually how I'm going to keep chilling out. I just want to be present with my family and love the moments that I have with them. And enjoy the little things that are sprinkled throughout the whole holidays. Snuggling up and watching some Christmas movies with my kids. And then snuggling up with my husband with some of the Christmas movies. Some of the Christmas movies my kids and I like, my husband doesn't. So this is why, different tabs. Anyways, it's about what you want from the holidays. But again, to do that is really to think about it beforehand. Because like I said, I've been there where I'm I've done it before where I knew that I wanted to do it differently. I think I told my husband that I wanted to do it differently. I had these ideas. And from a person that always talks about self-care and how important it is over the holidays, I too can forget when I'm enjoying life so much. I forget about me sometimes. So this episode here is as much for you as it is for me. And I am going to do what I've said here and set these expectations and write it down this year. I'm looking forward to talking about it and sharing how this worked out for me this year because I'm doing it differently this year. So it's not about being perfect, but it's about doing things different than you did before, right? If something didn't work out the year before or anywhere in your life, you don't keep doing the same thing over and over. You change it to see how, and see how that plays out in your life. Will it be perfect? Probably not, but you can tweak it and change it as you go and throughout your life. So I hope you have a most enjoyable holiday season full of love, peace, and joy. And whatever you celebrate in your home, I'm sending you so much love from mine home to yours. I hope you have an amazing day. Bye for now.